Hello, our dear viewers. It's Mercy Chigondo for the Talk to Me show on City TV. I'll still remind you to subscribe. I know that times are tough, data is hard, but we got some free data yesterday. Yeah, I remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's City TV, SCITY, and Facebook as well, and other social media platforms. Yeah, with me today I have someone very special, especially when it comes to children, to babies, to adolescents, and young adults maybe. She has the answers to all your questions. Since it's lockdown, some of us are finding it hard to get through with these kids. We really love them, but it's getting hard for us, the noise here and there and all that. Let me have her introduce herself.
Maybe I'll take my mask off since yours is going to stay on.
Yeah.
My name is MANUELA Mulondo, and I'm the CEO and founder of The Cradle. The Cradle is a 24-hour childcare and lactation service designed for the workplace. But I'm also an author of the book Stop Listen to Your Child Think, which is one of the tools that many parents are using in this period to help them in their journey working and relating with their children during the lockdown. I'm also the co-founder of Bump Love, which is a TV and web series that features 5 mothers sharing their personal motherhood experiences, and you as a viewer can watch and based on the topic decide which of their experiences best identifies you. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for having us here.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and maybe you should take our viewers through a little more of The Cradle, just a little bit.
So The Cradle, like I shared earlier, is a childcare and lactation service, and that means we do childcare. People here I think call it daycare, but we call it childcare because we're open 24 hours and our service can be accessed in 24 hours. So we're not just a daycare center. So we're a childcare, but also a lactation service, meaning women that need a place or a space where they can breastfeed or they can pump their milk for their babies. So we say we're a childcare and lactation service designed for the workplace. So essentially we're setting up, or we partner with parents, with mothers, with organizations, with businesses to set up childcare and lactation services at the workplace. So essentially we're designed to help the working mother. So that's the mother who's in the market, the mother who's in a corporate organization, the mother who owns a business, the mother who owns a business in a mall.
Because of course parenting can never be put on hold.
No, it can't. So,
no matter what you're doing.
Exactly. So wherever a mom is working, our vision is that we shall be there for her. Our vision is a Uganda where women are free to maximize their full potential and yet still be able to enjoy motherhood, raising the next generation of innovative and critical thinking children that will fast track Africa from a third world continent to a developed continent.
So that's a very really good thing, because back then motherhood was attributed to, should I say, let me call it slavery. They're not expected to go to work, So with services like those, I'm sure mothers are getting through.
Yeah, and I also think many times, yes, that's in the old days. I think women empowerment, that has changed over the past few years. And I think one of the slogans that we use on Bump Love is "Mom life ain't bad life, and mothering ain't suffering," because it isn't. It's an honor and it's a privilege for us to raise Uganda's future working force, but we should also not be enslaved because we have a uterus.
I know. Okay, with this pandemic, I know the cradle is not functional.
Yeah. Because over the past 1 year and 3 months, the government closed pre-primary schools, and according to our government here and our policies, pre-primary schools also include daycare centers, childcare centers, and creches. So we were among the people that have been affected by preschools being closed. However, we changed our model, and we had been in the process of changing it all the way from 2019, and we are currently servicing our parents from their homes. So we are finding
door-to-door services.
Yes, door-to-door. So we have children accessing a child caregiver in their home, in the comfort of their home. And what that means is, while they were getting the service from far away, now they can get it at home. But it's part of our drive to take our childcare service online, because we are currently designing a mobile app that allows parents to access a child caregiver, but also allow the youth and the young girls who might be unemployed right after campus or during campus to be able to access a babysitting service. I've seen this service excel, especially abroad. You will find that most young adults or employed people once did babysitting services.
Yeah, and some of them are still in school, but they do it as a part-time.
Still on campus. So that's what we're hoping we shall be able to help. And it didn't matter whether someone was really good with children. They'll just they'll get trained, they get into a home, get a little income here and there, and then they can leave. So that's really what we're doing right now, because we're not able to have children come to our center.
Okay, let's talk motherhood during this lockdown. Yes, people, like everyone is with their children right now. No school, no nothing. And it's tough. Yeah. Every mother says it's tough.
Yeah.
Those of the toddlers, the adolescents, the young adults at university, everyone has not had, not anyone has had it easy during this time. Yes.
Yeah.
How should they get through? Let's begin with the toddlers.
So of course I'm really great with children under the age of 4. My experience with older children comes with my own children, and my oldest just turned 8. So I'm just working through what happened with children between 4 and 8.
Oh, I
Other
see.
experiences that I have are based on me. But where I'm professionally adept and professionally okay with and can professionally give advice is for children under the age of 4. And one of the things that this lockdown has done has shown people what we've always said as early childhood practitioners, and that's that while yes, we shouldn't be castigated for having a uterus and we shouldn't suffer because we are the ones with children, this pandemic has shown us that we don't have much of a relationship with our own children. We developed a habit of leaving our children to the cares of the nanny, and this shows
and the schools
and to schools and to house girls and to teachers. And this pandemic has shown, if there's anything that I hope parents will come out of this with, is that they are going to improve their relationships with their children. The reason I say that is because in the early childhood sector, we've always struggled with this. We've always struggled with parents throwing their children at us. A child's life requires the two of us to work together.
The parents, the mother and the school,
exactly.
Or the two parents of the school?
The parents, the school, all of us, all the adults in the child's life. But sometimes you come to school and you can tell that the person that's raising this child is a house girl. And then we have so much work because somebody didn't do their part. Or they gave it to someone who did it only halfway.
Yeah, you're looking at a child that is not well taken care of. You can tell.
Yes, you can tell. And not well taken care of in terms of the physical aspect. But also intellectually. I can tell a child who's not engaging with their mother because of the words that they will say. I am like, there's certain words that I know a mother who works in MTN uses. I know the words. Yeah, I know that that child will say excuse me, they'll say please. If they come to the center and they're not saying excuse me and please, then I know that the mother is not taking part. I know that the father who works with World Bank is not taking part because he's using these words in his emails. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Excuse me.
Dear, excuse
Sorry.
me. So why is it that their child is not using those words? Because their parents are not in there.
Because it's a culture with you. Why don't you not pass it on to the kids?
Exactly. So unless you are spending time with your child, there's no way your child would know those words. So we can tell. So it's not just what they look like on the outside and how they're well taken care of on the outside. But what are they like in terms of their character?
Even
what
emotionally.
are they like emotionally? What are they like intellectually? What are they like? We can tell a child who's spending time with their parents. So now, for us in the ECD sector, while we grieve the fact that our businesses are on a standstill, our teachers can't work, we don't have any income.
You're glad that the kids have time with their parents.
We are hoping that this doesn't go to waste. That when the time comes and we can be open again and our children can come back to us, we can finally see a sharing of the child between
I hope the mothers
us
and fathers out there are getting that.
Exactly.
But we usually leave out the fathers. They also have a part to play.
Well, based on what I've seen lately, many fathers are involved.
Yes, they've picked up. Yes, they've picked up. Very true.
They'll be there for antenatals. They'll be there for the first time a child is coming to a school. It's just that the people that will always make the decision for the child are the mother. But I think fathers are picking up and are no longer in a place where I castigate them. The only times when the father is not in a child's life is when the parents are not okay. And of course that begs an understanding from us as early childhood practitioners that of course indeed that the father can't be in a child's life because the father and mother are not okay, they're separated. And so right now I feel like to a certain degree, especially in the urban and semi-urban areas, many fathers are taking a part. In fact, I thank people like our government, UNICEF, so many child fund that have done so many advertisements over the past 10 years. This has been over the past 10 years. If you look at all adverts that involve children, they have the father and the mother.
And the mother, yes, very true.
So because of that, a certain culture has been changed and has been developed. And so because of that, things are changing. Men don't know it.
They know.
They just feel it's right. It's the right thing to do.
Most of them don't like to do it, but they have to do it. So with time,
maybe I don't know, but I found men that are happy. Also, movies do help a lot because in the developed countries we see men going with women into the labor world.
I personally take my firstborn to the cinema sometimes. And he sees the movies. So I think there's been a huge cultural change, and fathers are taking a bigger part in their children's lives in terms of how they relate with the mother. Whether they play with their children is a whole different thing altogether. I know, yes.
But
I like to have time with them.
I always encourage dads to play football. Like football is easy to play. They just need to get a ball one day a week, which is Saturday, and play with a child. The second game I like to encourage parents, fathers to play with children is tickles and giggles. So if you tickle and giggle a child, that's enough play. You don't have to do so much. But then there's a third one that children absolutely love, which is to ride on their backs and on their shoulders. So those are just 3 easy games, and you as a father can say to yourself, okay, so every Saturday I'll play football. But on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, they'll ride my back or they'll ride my and then once a week I will tickle them.
I hope the parents are getting it, especially the fathers. Okay, let's talk about the nagging bits. Kids tend to nag at times. Say, mommy, this. And so it's mostly with the moms, not the dads. Most of the time, yes. Sometimes, personally, they get on my nerves and I'm like, please, give me some time. And it hurts. It hurts their feelings. Yes. How do you go about it in a way that doesn't hurt their feelings? I'm a culprit. Yes. Sometimes I yell,
Yeah. So I've I'll just share from my personal experience. I've got into the habit of sharing with my children when we can engage. So say for example, they know that if I enter the bathroom, that's my me time. So then always, and I explain it to them. I say, so I come from outside. I'm extremely tired. I'm extremely frustrated. And when you call my name and tap me, I get really frustrated and I end up shouting at you. Have you heard me shout at you? And then they would say yes. And then I say, so that's not a good time.
Do you like it?
That's not a good time to. But I also show them when. So I will tell them, as long as you see that I've entered inside the bathroom, please don't come, because then it shows you that I'm not okay. If I enter my room and I close the door, it means that I need time alone because I'm not feeling great. And so sometimes they'll come and complain and say things like, but mommy, you've taken so long without leaving your door halfway. Because when I leave it halfway, it means they are invited to come. But when I close it, it means for me that that's it. But if I forget, if I'm frustrated and I leave the door open and they come in,
so it's a culture you've developed as a mother.
Yeah, as a mother. So that they know where my boundaries are and what I'm able to do. I've also taught them a lot on emotional intelligence, when to track and see that something is not okay. So if you see that I'm upset, I'm not smiling, I'm not happy, just hold up on what you would like to tell me. But then on the flip side of it is I need to spend time with the kids, because I can't be in a place where I'm always unavailable. So like I'd said, the same way you plan to play with the kids, the same way we advise the dads, even me as a mom, I'm doing exactly that. There's an hour in my day when I switch off my phone, put my phone on day off, and spend the entire hour with them. I'll watch TV, and this is the intentional one. I will watch TV with them. I will be there as they're showering. I'll be there as they're wearing their pajamas. I'll be there as we eat food.
Then you tuck them into
talk.
bed.
We'll tuck into bed. We'll watch a movie together. We'll play a game on the phone on their phone together. So that they see that I'm not always unavailable for them, and that when I say I'm not available, they are understanding of it. I also make reference to the fact that when they're playing, sometimes they don't want to be disturbed, and so even when I come inside my room, I don't want to be disturbed.
Do they get that?
Yeah, they do, but I also feel it's because we've built a culture over a long period of time, a culture of trust where they know I'm not telling them lies, and being honest and truthful with them. Because like I've said, on the flip side, I am spending time with them. If you ask my kids about me and you say, what do you like about mommy? The one thing they will tell you is that she spends time with us.
Wow.
So if your children can't say you spend time with them, then it's very...
In whichever way they phrase it.
Whichever way they phrase it. It's very hard for you to now come and tell them, now let's build a culture where you know I don't want to talk to you. If for you all the time...
culture, you're making it even more complicated.
No, I hope not, but I also feel like it's time for us to take intentional steps, especially during this period.
But Manuela, it seems you're only looking at the modern mother. Yes, let's talk about this other side.
I actually, on the contrary, the modern mother is the one that struggles with this the most. The women we visit in the villages, they go to dig with their children. Their children are on their back. Their children are sitting right next to them. You don't have that opportunity, because her workplace is in the garden. Your workplace is on media and in TV. Your child is not invited in that space. So for her, she actually spends a lot of time with them. I've talked about initiatives by the government, by Child Fund, by UNICEF. Over the past 10 years, they've been investing a lot of money into helping women in the villages on how to communicate with their children. I teach women who work in corporate spaces and businesses how to talk with their children. But the children in villages have great access to their mothers, and their mothers know how to speak with them. I tell mothers they can speak to their children in their bellies here in Kampala, and they don't know that. But you go to a woman in Kaberamaido, in a health center she knows exactly what to do. I talk to a woman here in Kampala, Uganda, and I tell her, get your saucepans, which you're no longer using, and that's BKB, and allow your child to burn. Don't throw those BKB, right? You're spending so much time buying from Aristoc, and I don't know, these shops that are online, right?
The
But the woman in Padier who visits a health center too is being told every day, get anything, give your child, let them bang, let them play. In Kampala here, I beg mothers, allow your children to get dirty.
And that's what I don't like.
And they don't. But the children in villages, dirty kabisa.
So that is learning.
Right? They're learning, they're playing. So while you think this is a modern thing, you're just seeing it in the context of how it will be applied. But it's not modern by virtue of the fact that how it's applied in the villages is amazing. Amazing. You will find that mothers are engaging their children. This lockdown, they don't know lockdown. Because for them, they're engaging.
Yes, they've always been with their children.
Engaging their children.
True. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes. We are still with Manuela, and she's taking us through motherhood and then parenting. When I say parenting, I mean the fathers are involved as well.
Yeah.
Because of this pandemic, we are not allowed to let our kids go out and play with others and all that. So I basically meant to keep them indoors, which is very hard, by the way. How do we engage them? In which activities can we engage them?
So that's a great question. So first of all, when they say they shouldn't go out, it doesn't mean they shouldn't go out. It just means they shouldn't engage with other children. But first of all, I would say to parents, equip yourself with knowledge. There's a certain age group, 4 years and below, even if they shared flu, they can get the virus.
Oh, really?
That's why I said, parents, you really need to equip yourself with knowledge. Not everything that's said on TV is right. If you only just Google, right? Just Google and put in how does COVID affect younger children. Now that's children under the age of 4. You'll find all the research that has been done on children under the age of 4, and you realize that's why in other countries, children under the age of 4 are still in school. Because the virus doesn't affect them the way it affects you and I, or affects our mothers and fathers or our grandparents. So we really need to equip ourselves with knowledge. So for me, because I'm aware of this, my children do engage with other children. However, if you read the research, they need to be engaging with the same children all the time. Right? Not like I don't take them to a party, I don't take them to, no. If there's any children they are engaging with, they are in the same pod, they are the same children. So if on a daily, so if any one of them gets the virus, we know the children, right? So you can alert the other mothers. So we can alert the other mothers because the children are the same, they are playing with each other. So we're a group of 3 mothers, our children engage with each other, they will visit with each other, because we know how the virus acts with children under a certain age or in a certain age group, and what then is required of us. So please equip yourself with knowledge. This time is very depressing for children, and I try to explain this by extrapolating it to fathers or to men or even to women. To men, I extrapolate it to how do you feel when your job is taken away from you. That's exactly how children feel when they can't play. You can no longer work, and then they're telling you, go and sit down, keep quiet, you'll be there. Don't move out, don't even. Don't shout, don't shout, we are working. But you as a man, you no longer have a job. I extrapolate what children are going through to women who can't have children. The way you feel is exactly how the children are feeling right now. So for us to be in and
you rip them off all they ever had.
All they know. For most women it's children. I'm saying for most, not for every, but for most women it's the ability to have children, and for most men it's the ability to have a way of life. So when that is stripped away from you, how do you feel? For 1 year and 3 months. How does that feel? You understand? So you're a woman, you've been married 1 year and 3 months, and you can't have children. How does that feel? That's exactly how children are feeling. So for us to, because we understand, we feel we understand what they're going through, or what's happening around the world, tell them, no, sit down. It's like telling a woman, don't try to have a child, don't try to have sex, because it's dangerous. The truth is there's something she's going through. And if you can help her in any way, help her. Right? So right now is a time for us to help our children. If you feel that it's unsafe, your children need air. Your children need to be discovering. Your children need to be in an environment, outdoor environment. Go outside with them.
And you monitor them.
Monitor them as they play. Let them wear
those
the
without
masks.
the perimeter walls.
Yes, even if they don't have a perimeter, take walks with them. Go to an open field and allow them to run because the fields are there. Many of us have fields, football
And they're
fields near our
vacant.
homes, and they're open and they're vacant. Take your children out, let them play, let them run. After all, you're also at home, but you're sticking them inside the house. Even you, when you were a child, you couldn't manage being in the house.
I know.
Now you have your own child. You've become the father and mother that you hated while you were a
that's
child.
something parents should put right.
That's something you should put right. In terms of indoor games, I'll just ask your subscribers and your viewers to head on over to the Cradle page. We actually sell a PDF of activities you can do with your children.
Talk to them.
Based on the different ages they're in. So that's up until they're 10 years.
Okay.
So if your child is aged newborn to 1 year, we have games that you can play with them. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4, and you can purchase it for only 50,000 shillings. That's it. But also, while you're doing these activities, it's important for you.
Is it a series of games?
Yes.
Okay.
And they're age-appropriate developmental activities because that's important for you as a parent. You need to be doing what's appropriate for them,
for
otherwise
age,
for their age. Otherwise, you feel like they're not doing what they're supposed to do. It's not right, and then you're frustrated, and yet it's supposed to.
And then you also frustrate them.
And then you also frustrate them. So.
Okay. Oh, Manuela, thanks for having us here.
You're welcome.
Yes, and I hope to be with you next time. So right now it's with the toddlers most.
Yes.
Yes, you can only go as far as 8.
Yes.
So I hope to have you with adolescents.
One day maybe.
And the young adults, God give us life. Yes, you had the expert. She has taken us through what you're supposed to do as mothers and fathers, by the way. And don't keep the kids indoors. They can play under your supervision, not so. Yes, let them have some fresh air. Yes, but while you monitor them. Thank you very much. Masi Chigondo for the Talk to Me show. Till next time.